all for free.
All for free.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all for free.
M4 Music, your destination for everything music.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wellington once again here with another video, and today we are going to talk specifically about recording interfaces. I know this is one of the shows that you've been waiting for, and today I am in the studio with a guest, and this guest is none other than Mr. Joel. And Mr. Joel, you're going to introduce yourself, and Mr. Joel is somebody who is having experience in recording, musician. He's just everything in one. Mr. Joel, can you introduce yourself to the viewers and tell us why you are here? And remember, we are talking about recording.
Yeah. So, my name is Joel, and thank you, Wellington, for having me here. And so we're here to talk about different equipments from Universal Audio, and would like to say greetings to all our audience.
Thank you. Now, you've heard his voice, and I'm sure he is more than ready to be able to tackle with us some of these things that we are. Mr. Joel, I have one problem. I record music. I've been recording music for a long time, and I've used different interfaces, audio interfaces to record. And, I'm trying to imagine if I want to upgrade. I was thinking of upgrading. And I've heard of the Universal Audio. Do you think it's an audio interface that you can recommend? And how much do you know about this Universal Audio?
All right, so that's a really great question, Wellington. Well, to begin with, let me just give you a short information about Universal Audio. Now, Universal Audio is one of the respected pioneer brands when it comes to audio equipments. They are in the audio world for more than 60 years. Now, initially, Universal Audio are creating this classic analog hardwares, which are very visible to professional studios. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with the iconic 1176. There are different preamps, like the 610 preamps from UA. Those are just a few of the professional equipments that Universal Audio is producing. Now, Apollo interfaces came in, and they entered the world of digital recording together with UADPlug-Ins, and the new equipments or the new added products from UA are the Volt interfaces. They also have different pedals, which are the UAFX, and also they're now entering the line or the market of Universal or the microphone, UA microphones. So you've seen a lot of different products from Universal Audio, and all of them are catered to, to give professional and high quality sound, especially for people who are creating music.
I'll agree with you because having an experience in recording for many years, I believe I've gotten several challenges from some sound cards, and as I'm talking to you right now, some of my 3 sound cards are broken. And when you think about you want to upgrade to a new one, you have to think. And I can see in front of us we have some audio interfaces, and to be precise, I can see Apollo Twin is just in front of us. Do you think you can shed some light on Apollo Twin?
Yeah. Well, one thing unique with Apollo interfaces are, one is they have this built-in DSP. Now, this built-in DSP is the one who process your Universal Audio plugins. And then they are using unison technology on their preamps.
So first of all, when you're talking about the plugins, because I'm used to recording in my recording interface and my software, I'm used to using plugins separate. Are you saying that with Apollo Twin, I'm getting extra plugins with it?
Well, the good thing with Universal Audio is they do have their UAD plugins. Now, UAD plugins are designed for Universal Audio interfaces like the Apollo. So basically what's happening is all the processing, all your UAD processing are happening inside your Apollo, not on your computer.
Oh, so it's getting some load from the PC.
Nope, it's running inside your Apollo.
Running inside my
So,
Apollo.
yep, correct. So basically, what's happening?
That's interesting.
You're saving computer resources. You know, you're not stressing your computer to process all your plugins or your universal audio plugins, because all your UA plugins are running inside your Apollo interface.
It's really interesting.
Yep, and that's the big benefit of DSP. So if I said DSP, there is a built-in chip, you know, mounted inside your Apollo interfaces. So what it does is it processes your universal audio plugins, and you get, you know, very low latency. That's the best part.
When you're talking about latency, are you talking about the same thing I normally experience delay when I'm maybe when I'm recording a microphone,
Correct.
or maybe I'm playing on my MIDI controller is delaying? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, right. So talking about audio latency, normally audio latency are, you know, is pretty common, especially if we're working on the built-in sound card on your computer. But to avoid or to solve that latency issue, that's the reason why we have this dedicated audio interface. And these are some examples. And having a high quality Apollo interface will solve that latency, and you will get almost near zero latency.
So when you talk about near zero,
There is no perfect zero latency. Even other manufacturers are doing the same, but you know, there is a specific, or let's say a very minimal value. Like for example, in Apollo, it's like you will get less than 2 milliseconds latency.
let me have a look at this. And you know, when I look at this Apollo, and you spoke about the latency,
Yeah.
because I believe my viewers will be having the same question, because I have it in my hands here, and I see you spoke about the latency. So when you talk about the latency, which is going to be taken care of by the plugins which are being run directly on this equipment,
Yeah.
then what about this monitoring? It's not related with latency at the same time? Because in other audio interfaces we have the direct monitoring to reduce latency.
Right.
Can you shed some light on that?
Well, I can give you a quick overview with the Apollo interface. So right now I'm holding the Apollo Twin X. So this is one of their latest models, and right on top, the design and the workflow is very simple. So you have your preamp controls. So this is where you can select if you want to use a line inputs or maybe an instrument. And then you have several knobs here, like your polarity switch if you want to dim, if you want to enable talkback functionality on the Apollo Twin. And also you have another mode, which is the monitoring. So this is where you can press the button and then just select if you want to monitor using your headphone or maybe your speakers. Now at the back of the unit, it's very simple, it's very straightforward. So you have two unison preamps. Again, this unison technology from UA is very great and amazing. So imagine if you are using unison preamp or unison plugins from Universal Audio. So what it does is you are instructing Universal or you are instructing Apollo Twin to behave and sound like your real analog hardware.
Wow.
So if I am using a Neve preamp or Manly plugin through Unison, so it's like I am saying, hey, buddy, can you behave like a real Manly preamp for me? That's how it does. That's how it works with the Apollo ecosystem, which is really great because, you know, having this power of giving you that quality plugins. Again, these UAD plugins are not just your typical plugins. Universal Audio, take note, Universal Audio has a direct collaboration with the manufacturer, meaning they have like this, they have the blueprint of the real hardware, and then they are designing and emulating the specific hardware to be a plugin emulation.
Wow, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you can hear this Mr. Joel, who is shedding a lot of light on universal audio. And remember, if you have any question, you can always write in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe or like. But I've not yet finished with Mr. Joel. Mr. Joel, I have a question for you.
Yo.
You see, I looked here. You spoke about the overview of this, and I saw something here like a guitar input. I have a very important question, because I know a guitarist will be asking the same question. We normally use DI boxes.
Right.
Does it mean without this, without a DI box, I can still connect it and I'm done?
Yep. So that's true. No need for you to use any DI box. You can go straight and connect your instrument directly to the high Z input of your Apollo, which is in front.
Which is in front.
Which is in front.
So I don't need any DI box.
No need.
When I'm recording here.
Right.
Last but not least, what about if I want to expand my studio? Say, for example, I've been recording at home, and I feel like now I want to expand. Maybe I want to make a big band. I want to make maybe 12 inputs, 15 inputs. How is it possible with this gadget?
Yep. If we go back and check the back portion of the Apollo Twin, there is an optical input. at the back.
Optical input.
All right. So basically, what it does, so your story just never ends on buying an Apollo. If you want expansion in the future, if you want to expand more input and outputs, let's say you have a standalone preamp, 8 channels, that has an optical type of connection, easy. Buy an optical cable, connect it straight to the input, optical input of the Apollo, and then boom. You can,
Wow.
it will add up 8 and then another 2 inputs. So total you get 10 channels.
Wow.
So easy.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you are finding this one interesting, and I'm looking forward again another time to be able to discuss about this. But let me tell you one thing. I'm more than convinced. Because I'm more than convinced, because the audio interfaces which I've been using, they don't have such important features, and especially I'll tell you what I've learned. And I'm sure some of my viewers will agree with me. If I want to expand my studio, many of the interfaces we buy, they don't come with that expansion capability. I'm convinced with this. And another thing which I am happy with is the latency, because that is my greatest enemy, latency. And I'm sure my viewers are having the same problem with latency. And believe me, if you are planning to put up a very reliable home studio, then I wouldn't feel bad if I can budget again well to go for something like this.
And one more thing, Wellington, I would like to add, you're just not stuck up with the hardware. Buying any Apollo interfaces, you get universal audio plugins. So by default, you get the analog classic bundle from Universal Audio. So it's like a total of 14 plugins. But if you buy the Heritage Edition, you get additional 5 more plugins, right? And you're getting it free. Plus, the benefit of having a Thunderbolt type of Apollo interface. Are you familiar with Luna recording software? So
Can you please tell us about Luna? I've not heard about Luna. Tell me about Luna.
So basically, Luna is a fully fledged recording system from Universal Audio. So they are the one who made that specific recording software. So this software is perfect if you want to integrate that with your Apollo interface. Especially if you want to monitor your plugins, if you want to use Unison type of plugins, everything are there, from recording, from monitoring. So it's a complete solution for you.
But is it a trial version, or is it just a full version recording
It's a
it?
full version. It's a full version.
So you're telling me if I buy a universal audio interface, I get a recording software,
Yep.
I get plugins,
Yep.
all for free.
All for free.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all for free. Only if you buy universal audio, all right? It is free plugins and free recording software. Ladies and gentlemen, I think
Yep. And also, I would like to take this opportunity. Universal Audio is having or running a special offer. So they do have this Apollo desktop promotion. So wherein people who buy Apollo Solo, Apollo Twin, and the Apollo X4, they will get instant savings, which is really amazing. Now, this offer runs only from August 1 to September 30th, 2022. So you get the interface, you get the plugins, you get Luna if you get the Apollo Thunderbolt, plus get more
Wow.
savings.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get Apollo Twin and Universal Audio products, you can always click in the link below. We sell them at m4music.com and you'll be able to get that offer in our website. And that's all from me. This is Wellington Shitsukane and Joel in the studio.
All right.
Ciao.
Thanks, Wellington.
Order today at m4music.com.